Evelyn Harper was a well-known figure in Savannah's historic district. After her husband passed away, Evelyn had continued managing his successful chain of antique stores, growing their fortune. Despite her wealth, she lived modestly in a beautiful, ivy-draped Victorian home and was generous with local charities. Her only family was her niece, Lauren Mitchell, whom she treated like a daughter after Lauren's parents died in a car accident. To outsiders, Evelyn's life looked peaceful, but appearances were deceiving. On July 14, 2020, Evelyn was found at the bottom of her grand staircase. The scene initially suggested a tragic accident, an elderly woman slipping and falling. Lauren, who lived in a guest house on Evelyn's property, was the one who discovered her aunt's body. Paramedics were called, but Evelyn was pronounced dead at the scene. The death certificate initially listed it as an accidental fall, but one detective, Officer Reed, found small details troubling. Evelyn was in good health with no history of balance issues. A neighbor reported hearing loud arguing the night before. The banister showed signs of being forcibly broken, not worn down. A forensic re-examination found bruising around Evelyn's wrists, defensive wounds inconsistent with a simple fall. The case was reclassified as suspicious death. Investigators learned that Evelyn had recently updated her will. The updated will left everything, the antique business, the house, and $2 million in savings, solely to Lauren Mitchell. Older versions of the will had split her estate among several charities and friends. Curiously, the change had occurred just 2 weeks before Evelyn's death. When police questioned Lauren, she seemed nervous and defensive. She claimed Evelyn had made the changes out of love and gratitude. Detectives weren't convinced. Surveillance cameras across the street captured Lauren sneaking out of the main house late at night, well after she claimed to have gone to bed. Search warrants revealed text messages on Lauren S.'s phone where she joked about finally being free soon to a friend. More damning, a forensic expert reconstructed that Evelyn's fall was staged. Someone had pushed her down the stairs and then manipulated the body's position. Faced with mounting evidence, police arrested Lauren Mitchell. Lauren was drowning in debt. She had maxed out multiple credit cards and had a history of gambling problems. When Evelyn refused to pay off her latest $40,000 in debt, encouraging Lauren to learn responsibility, Lauren snapped. The inheritance, she believed, would solve all her problems. She couldn't wait for fate to take its course. Instead, she took matters into her own hands. Lauren Mitchell was arrested on August 5, 2020, charged with first-degree murder and financial fraud. She wept during her initial court appearance, insisting she never meant for Evelyn to die. But prosecutors had an airtight case. Lauren E.'s defense team tried to argue that Evelyn E.'s death was a result of an accident, and Lauren's behavior afterward was just poor judgment fueled by grief. However, the jury was not swayed. The financial motive, timeline of events, and expert forensic testimony painted a clear picture of premeditation. In December 2020, Lauren Mitchell was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The judge called it one of the coldest betrayals of trust he had ever seen. The charities Evelyn had originally intended to support petitioned the court, and her assets were eventually redirected according to her earlier will, restoring her legacy. Locals remember Evelyn as a kind soul, whose generosity helped restore much of Savannah's historic district. Her death served as a grim reminder that sometimes the greatest threats come from those closest to us.